In experiment number 2, we're going to measure how much electricity we're making, because that's really the point, being able to understand how much electricity we get from a certain amount of sunlight. So we're going to use a multimeter, and we're going to take a lot of readings to see what that means. Then, in part 3, we're going to do something really, really cool. What's cool? We're getting ready to go to our next experiment, which is to measure how much electricity is being made by the solar panel in the sun, in the shade, and in the dark. But one thing that I wanted to point out to you is that, did you notice that when it wasn't in the sun directly, the wheels slowed down, there was less energy made? Well, the reason why is because the little photons moving in their wave pattern pop straight into it. And when they pop straight into it, they kick more electrons out of the way. Those electrons move a little bit faster and more often, and so it makes the engine move. But if it's off to the side and the light bounces off of here, it doesn't kick as many electrons out of the way, which means it doesn't flow. Now, really quickly, the electricity flowed through here, into here, right here, and then came back through the motor wire, the negative motor wire, which is the black one, the electrons were coming through it, into the motor, and then it came out the red wire after meeting the motor, so there's a little bit less electricity, in theory, coming through there, because that was the load. The resistor comes through here and goes back into the solar panel. But what happens if I take a wire out? Let's go look. We're going to go in the backyard and see what happens if I take a wire out. Okay, check this out. Running again, not running. Running again, not running. Running again, not running. That's because the light is coming, and remember, it takes 8 minutes for that light to get to here and to make this run. Now, what I want to show you is that if you disrupt that light, it slows it down. If it's not hitting it straight on, it slows it down too. But not only that, I can stop it full power just by pulling on this cord. And all of a sudden, there's not a circuit.
Turn it sideways so you can see the cord you pull.
See that? Watch, and if I put it back in, if I take it out, put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out. So, it's very important that electricity runs in a circle. It's called a circuit. And you have simple circuits and parallel circuits, but we're not going to. Oh, isn't that cool? I love it. Okay, and so we're done with this part right here. We're going to go measure the electricity coming in off this solar panel. So, if Mrs. Peplow will join me since she's filming, say hi, Mrs. Peplow.
Hi.
Okay, let's go ahead and go in here.
Okay, let's test it using, is this the multimeter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, okay, it says put this into here. Black one. Red. To there. Just turn the knob to 10A. Okay. Are we ready? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Touch it here. See anything yet? I'm about to touch it now. Got a reading?
Yeah, it looks like 0.01. Okay, why don't you put it on the solar panels now, see if it's the same.
Okay.
So what are we measuring here? We're measuring what? How much electricity is being made by the solar panels, right?
Okay, are we ready?
Yep. Oh, that shows a 2. I guess it's getting more light from the light above us. Now go back and measure the other side right there. See if it's still a 2.
Because look, it's still showing numbers. I mean, it's still showing the 2 even though nothing's on.
Well, let's see what happens when you... Wow, that's different than that. And the only thing...
It's gone up again. Why?
Well, I think it's because we have this light in a different way. You know what this means? This means that light...
Fluctuating between 3 and 4.
When we first did it as a 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, why don't we take it outside and see how much full sunlight gives? Okay?
Okay.
Go. Okay, I'm using the multimeter, and I'm going to read off here. Look, see? I've got it set up here so that it has a continual charge. And as I step out, I'm going to read to you what the multimeter says. Actually, you can read with me. Just stay behind me here and get a focus on the multimeter. And let's go for a little walk. And this is called the short circuit charge. Oh, look, look,
Changing?
Look. Yeah, it is changing. Look, there's 5, 8, 21, 24, 25, 37. Oh, it's in the shade a little bit. So I'm trying to keep the, okay, come back over here. Oh, now we're at 46, 47. Look at that. So I would say it's about half an amp. Does that sound right to you, Becky? About half an amp? Because we're in the 10 amp setting. So,
Oh, okay.
so it'll go up to 10 amps. So it's about half an amp. And if I, depending on how I hold it, if I hold it away from the light, look, if I'm holding it away from the light, I only get a 4. You see that? But if I hold it into the light, I get up in the 40s. I bet, oh, look, that one almost went up to 47. There's 45. So, as the light, oh, there's 46. That's over half an amp. Well, that's about half an amp. Isn't that pretty cool? That's pretty neat. Well, what do you think, Beck? Mrs. Peplow?
Yeah, it looks neat.
Yeah, it is neat.
There it goes.
Okay, well, let's see what happens if I go a little bit in the shade here. It's in the shade now. Oh, no, it's not in the shade. It's up to 47 there. There's 47. That's almost half an amp. Let's go into the shade. And look, it's down to 0. So, our little car is making about half an amp of electricity with this solar cell. Boy, I love science. Isn't that cool? Well, we're going to go back inside and see what we can do with these readings. Okay, you know